welcome to DIY with Nancy. Hope you're all doing well. The fall season's here. I'm super excited about that, and I decided today I'm going to show you my recipe for pumpkin cake. It's a super easy cake to make, super moist, and super delicious. So I hope you stay with me to watch how to make my pumpkin cake recipe step by step.
Here are the ingredients that you'll need to make this super easy, delicious pumpkin cake. Eggs, pure pumpkin puree, all-purpose flour, sugar, vegetable oil, baking soda, ground cinnamon, salt, and ground nutmeg. I'll list the quantity and ingredients you need for this recipe as I go along. Okay, let's get started. I have a sifter here. I'm going to start off with the dry ingredients, and I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. To that I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. Now sift all the dry ingredients to avoid any lumps and set it aside. Using my stand mixer, I'm going to place 1 3/4 cups of granulated sugar. To that, I'm going to add 3 whole eggs, and these are large eggs I'm using here. And I'm adding my wire whip attachment to mix all the ingredients. I'm going to place the mixer on high speed. Now I'm going to let it mix until my batter is nice and fluffy, so for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. Now the sugar and eggs have been mixing for about 2 minutes. I'm going to just reduce it to a medium speed. I'm going to continue adding the ingredients while it's still mixing. Now here I have 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. Let the oil mix in there for about 10 seconds, at which point you're going to stop your mixer and add the balance of your ingredients. Now I'm ready to add the dry ingredients. This is the dry ingredients that we mixed together earlier. I'm going to alternate between adding the flour and the pure pumpkin puree. Now once I add the flour, I'm going to place the mixer on a medium speed, let it mix, have it well combined, and then I'm going to alternate by adding the pumpkin puree. Next I'm adding the pumpkin puree, and I have 1 3/4 cups. Now I'm only going to add half of the puree and let it mix, and I'm really going to try to keep it in the bowl. So I placed in half of the pumpkin puree. Now I'm ready to add another 1/3 of the dry ingredients. Now the dry ingredients is the flour and the nutmeg, everything that we mixed up earlier. So I set that aside and I'm adding it in now. So this is another 1/3 part of the flour, and I'm going to alternate by adding the balance of the pumpkin puree. And we're going to place that in there while the mixer's still going. I'm just going to add the balance of the pumpkin puree. Mix that in there. And now I'm ready to add the balance of the dry ingredients. Place that into the mixer and let it mix for an additional 45 seconds. I want to make sure all my flour's in there and tap at it. And there. And now I'm going to let it mix for another 45 seconds. Okay, it's been about 45 seconds. My batter looks like it's come together nicely. I'm going to turn off my mixer and remove my attachment. And of course, anybody that knows DIY with Nancy, I'm going to get out that spatula and make sure that all my batter is incorporated. There's no lumps or any flour in the bottom. So I'm going to mix it together, and now I'm ready to place it into my cake pan. Now here's the cake pan. I've placed some butter around it. Now you can use some cooking or baking spray, no problem. Love this cake pan. My husband got it for me. You know, sometimes hubbies do nice things for you. And now we're going to place the batter into the cake pan. I'm going to do that slowly so I don't smear or smudge the edges of the cake pan. I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Pumpkin cake is ready to go in the oven. I'm going to bake it at 350 degrees for approximately 35 minutes. My pumpkin cake is out of the oven. I've let it cool completely. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on just a plate and I'm going to flip it. Hold on to it, just flip it, and this pan is just amazing. It's a non-stick cake pan, and there, voila, is my pumpkin cake. Like I said, it's completely cooled, and at this point, I'm going to add icing sugar. Now, icing sugar can vary. You can put half a cup or as much as icing sugar as you like. Now, it's very important, like I said, that you let the cake completely cool, or the icing sugar will melt onto your cake. So make sure it's completely cooled. And you can see it's a very simple and easy cake to make.
Okay, let's cut into the pumpkin cake. Can't wait. Let's just get a slice here. I'm going to make it about that size. And this is such a moist cake, can last for days. And there's that slice. And that's how I make my pumpkin cake. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe. This cake is a very moist cake. It's not a dry cake inside, and it's super yummy. I hope you all enjoy the recipe, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Take care.